If you had to choose between never watching football again or never being able to speak a foreign language again, which would you choose?
Oh, wow.
It's clear also that you love learning and speaking foreign languages. I needed to touch on this before we time out on the episode. But I know you're fluent in English, of course, Spanish and French, and speak pretty good Portuguese, I believe. But where did this interest come from? I don't think I missed any there either.
No. It's like, no. It's like, my Portuguese, to be fair, it's not pretty. It's like my Portuguese is fine. It's
right.
Okay. It's basic conversational stuff because I only learned that for like 2 years at uni. So I can hold a basic conversation, but it's nowhere near as good as like my French and Spanish. So I just started learning it when I was a kid, like properly. I started learning it kind of maybe once a week at primary school, but it was more secondary school when you could pick it up as a language. I picked up French from year 7, and then year 9 I picked up Spanish as well and just did those all the way through. But it was more I think it was more because from when I was a kid, my family, my dad has been obsessed with France for as long as I can remember. So any little chance to get away on a holiday, he would always just say, right, we're going to France, we go camping or go to wherever, go to a hotel, or go to Paris or whatever. And it was just from there, I think from being exposed to it from such a young age was so beneficial, and it helped helped me pick up the language so much. So it was just from there, from when I was a kid. Same as like, my big sister and my brother as well. They're both really, really good at French. And obviously my dad's fluent as well. He lives there now. So it's, the languages has played a really important part of not just my family's kind of life. And that, I guess, is one thing. I contradict myself now, but that languages are honestly one thing that I would say I would encourage people to do, just because purely from personal experience that I know how much I would not be doing what I'm doing today if it wasn't for languages. It's not that I need to learn every language or whatever, but just like learning a language and the host of benefits that it brings you from obviously being able to speak to people in their own language. It gives you a better appreciation for your own language, for understanding people's difference in culture and their views on stuff and why they live how they live and why they do what they do and all that sort of stuff. Like it just opens a lot of doors, I think, for people if you learn languages. So yeah, that's been a massive part of my life for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been interesting to see you put these skills to the test in videos as well, like translating for Messi on stage at an Adidas event, speaking French with Zidane several times. Do you think it's fair to say, like you touched on there, that this USP of yours has and will continue to take you to places that others might struggle to hold their own in?
Yeah, it's not even like others might struggle, whatever. Like there are people miles better than me at French and Spanish, but that are presenters that can do what I do and add their own flavor to it. But it's more just from a personal point of view, like whether anyone else is me up against anyone else, it doesn't really matter. I just think, like, for me, I give myself the best chance of being able to do as much as possible if I speak these languages, and I've seen it happen. Like as I said, like, I love just saying yes to stuff, and the Messi thing that came in, like, when in my life am I ever going to be able to interview Messi live on stage in Moscow 6 months before the World Cup? Like, that's, if I didn't speak Spanish and if I hadn't spoken Spanish on shoots for the previous 6 or 7 months that Adidas saw I was like good enough at, they wouldn't have invited me to do it, because like it just, the way it came about was so bizarre. But they just said they needed someone who could speak Spanish because Messi was coming, and they just said, look, you filmed with us before, we trust you, we like you, so do you want to do it? And obviously I had to say, I was bricking it, but I had to say yes, just because that's, when am I ever going to do that? So I would, it has helped me, I think even beyond what I think the importance of it is. I think it's been one of the main reasons why I get to do what I do now, and fingers crossed, like I'll have more opportunities in the future. And if Japan, I want to start learning Japanese now, just because I want to go to the Olympics and stuff. So it's just stuff like that. Like I might, if because I work with the BBC, I might be able to go to the Olympics if it happens. I might be able to go to Tokyo and work at the Olympics, because it would be a dream of mine, because who wouldn't want to do that as well? but it's more also I've realized the importance of knowing the language, and I just want to put myself in the best position possible to be able to go. And if that's another thing that helps me, then I'll do it. So it's definitely languages for me, as honestly, it's been so helpful.
Mm-hmm. That actually leads on quite nicely to the last part of this podcast, where I do long ball questions, as I like to call them. They're straight and direct. I've got 2 hypotheticals and 2 positive reflective questions.
Hit me.
If you had to choose between never watching football again or never being able to speak a foreign language again, which would you choose?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad, but I think I'd probably say never a foreign language.
Yeah,
just because it's football. Obviously,
is a language.
No, okay, of course, it's everything, right? Like, obviously, there's more to life than football, but football is such a massive part of my life. But then I love languages. I honestly don't know, because I even think, even without football. Wait, so never watching football again?
Never watch football, yeah.
Can I play football?
You can play football, but how many years you got left in you?
No, sorry, I've got a few years, mate. No, I would say, okay, well, in that case, because the only thing I like more than watching football is playing football. I love playing football so much. So I would say never watch football again, because I'll just play 5-a-side, I'll play 11s on Saturdays, and then I'd use my languages and do other presenting stuff and just live.
I feel like I've caused you a bit of stress.
No, internally as well. I feel a bit like, wow, I don't know, I'm questioning myself now.